I don't like. I got a few tricks up my sleeve. I got some more cool shit coming. I'll tell you about.
Well, you may well do. Everybody does. But,
yeah. No. I have more than most. I'm the founder of a $50 billion cryptocurrency. I have more than most.
Yeah, you can brag about that. I mean, that's fine.
So this idea that you can make absolutely insane, amazing changes in the world by just turning the right screws, but knowing where those screws are, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So it gets framed like, you made too much money for too little work. But in fact, it's the opposite. Making a lot of money with little work means you have little overhead, which means you have little negative price externality. Look at Zcash. Zcash price is doomed and has been doomed for years. Why? Because they got a building of 80 guys doing something.
I still prefer maximally effective on-ramping. I still don't like ads that don't work. And most ads do not work. I don't think billboards work. I don't think sports advertising works. I don't think race cars work. I got some other tricks I ain't gonna tell you about. I'm gonna let them shoot themselves in the foot first so they can't counteract the counterplay.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another day. Wow. Drama on the crypto streets there at the moment. Man, it's a mixed bag though. There are some green shoots out there. We're going to talk about that. We've got Bitcoin price drops that we're going to get into that. We've got Ethereum was kind of holding up a little bit. It's come down a bit with it as well, along with a lot of altcoins, but there are some green cryptos out there. Pulsechain markets, at least around the Richard Heart tokens, are reasonably chill. Obviously, some of the altcoins on Pulsechain are down relatively, but the Richard Heart stuff, not too bad. It's kind of chilling there. And of course, we got the Mafia price is the really one of the golden lights there as well. It's just shining bright. Mafia price up again today. So we've been covering that obviously as the first influencer channel covering that. And man, it's been turned out to be fantastic. So I hope everyone's been enjoying that. It's good that we're covering the right things, right? We're also going to be talking about dog. You can see the dog here in the background. A dog to the moon. Huge announcement on that today. And of course, that is up as well. That's a green shoot. So yeah, everything we've been covering is it's kind of the standouts here, which is really neat. So we're going to get into all of that and more, much more in today's live stream. It's going to be really huge. So we're going to get to that. I'm also going to be doing a couple interviews this week. I said I was going to mix it up. Generally, I don't do a lot of interviews on this channel, but we've got a couple coming up. And most of the interviews I do are on Pulsechain, but we will be doing some interviews with teams that are not on Pulsechain, like Ethereum or BNB or something like that. So that's going to happen from time to time. And so yeah, we've got a couple interviews going to get into that. So get into the chat, folks. Get vibrant. Really do enjoy that when you get in there and get active. We've got a poll up at the moment. We've got 6 votes so far. Which altcoins will pump the most this bull market? Now, don't think short term of what we've seen so far, but what we might see in the year ahead. So check that out. We've got Bitcoin Runes, Solana, Ethereum, and Pulsechain. Get in there and put your vote in there. What's pump the most? So thinking about what the percentage or X returns will be. That's kind of the way I think about that. So definitely get on that one. We will be talking about Mt. Gox as well. I see that we've got Brennan in our house there. Mt. Gox dumpers finally received their Bitcoin. We're going to talk about that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Big Kahuna in the house there. Good to see a Big Kahuna. Hope you're doing well. Brennan says Bitcoin at 200 EMA daily, says Brennan. We're going to be looking at that as well coming up. We've got the Mafia token absolutely doing very well. So I hope you guys have appreciated us covering that. That is turning out to be very good indeed. So yeah, picking up some more winners there. All right, let's get into it. What's that? Bikuna says they should join the syndicate. Indeed. Hey, thinking of the syndicate, we've got the Don in the house. Hey, good to see Archie. A big shout out to Archie. Archie's been absolutely incredible work behind the scenes. If a lot of you guys may not see it, but Archie has really been doing amazing as the head of the syndicate, which is the #1 Mafia family. So pretty awesome. And there is, if you guys want to join the syndicate, that is the recruitment on Telegram. Obviously, you can also join through the Discord. Link to Discord's in the video chat. But yeah, the syndicate on Telegram, that's the recruitment recruitment room. So you can go, pick up a magazine, take a chair, and get in on that. Of course, the one thing I might mention is that there's 100,000 Mafia required to join the syndicate. Just remember that. But to actually get a play on B&B Mafia, pretty cheap, only 2,000 Mafia. So, but the price is going up. So just remember getting early. That's that. Should we get into the mix? We've got a big show lined up. So let's start off with that and kick it in. So I haven't shown my channel for ages here. This Hex Token channel. Obviously, we're streaming to 3 YouTube channels. We're streaming to Superman Crypto, Hex Token channel, and Pulsechain X. And of course, that's over 10,500 subscribers. Here we are on the Hex Token view. Now we've got some interviews coming up. So obviously we've got the current show on today, which is this one here. But we've also got the show tomorrow, which is going to be an AMA. We're going to be having an AMA with Josh from the PDDC and UFO team. Now, this team's been a pretty top performer. I would say it's been the most innovative in the DAO reflection space, at least up to maybe Mafia or something. But anyway, it's got a DAO in there as well. And PDDC and UFO, we're going to be, I know many of you may be involved with that, may have bought some of those. It was a very good performing chart. Still is a very good performing chart on Pulsechain. So are the Alien Greys taking over Pulsechain? We're going to have an interview with Josh from the team there. That should be a lot of fun. So that's going to be on Pulsechain. So that's tomorrow. And then the next day, which is going to be slightly earlier than normal. So I probably will be doing 2 shows on Thursday. This is Kiwi time, of course, which will be Wednesday US time. But I'll be doing with the Blaze. The Blaze about to launch their protocol on Ethereum, which is built on Titan X. And of course, many of you may know Jake Sharp there, very well known, I guess, former Pulsechain influencer. He's moved obviously into his own project, which is cool. We love that in crypto. So we're going to be covering that as well. And that's a ROI protocol, earning Ethereum. So it's going to be pretty cool. I said we're going to mix it up a bit. So that's coming up on Thursday. And I probably will still do my normal midday show. This is going to be earlier at 10:30 rather than 12 o'clock. So it's about an hour and a half earlier. But I probably will do those 2 shows back to back. So that's coming up as well on Thursday. So yeah, mixing it up here on the channels, and hopefully you guys will get a lot out of that. There's always opportunities. Remember, nothing's investment advice. We're just looking at different opportunity projects that are out there, some on Pulsechain, some on other chains. This is the way it goes. All right, we got Tim Top in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tim Top, as always. Kind of cool. All right, that's sort of the public announcements. Let's jump over into the markets. We've got the Dow closes at a 1-month high as tech stocks lag. So the Dow is all the industrials, right? Let's have a look at that. So that's up 0.2%, 261 points. That's a big move to 39,411. Looking pretty good, the Dow Jones. We've got the S&P 500 down 1/3%, and it's down 17 points to 5,447. The NASDAQ, with all the tech companies, which has been rallying most of the time, is down 1%, 188 points to 17,500. So a bit of a mixed bag between the industrials and the tech companies. US dollar still pretty strong at 105.15 versus the trading partners. We'll have a quick look at the commodities. Hopefully that will pop up there. Yeah. We've got a bit of mixed results, but West Texas crude there is at $81.74, and Brent oil there $85.23 per barrel, and they're pretty flat there, really. The gold at the moment is pretty flat as well, down $2.25 to $2,342, and silver there is just below $30 again at $29.86. And of course, we're expecting bullish conditions for these commodities moving forward, particularly silver. Once we get interest rate pivots, maybe September, maybe November, then US dollar arguably will devalue, and of course that will mean that it'll be push a bit of a pump bull market for silver. So we're looking for that. That's a potential outcome there. And of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad Kiyosaki there is called $125. So we'll see where that goes. We do have some economic news out this week as well. PCE inflation is due this week. Remember, that's the number one inflation indicator for the Federal Reserve there. And of course, we have the other one, a CPI, which came in. So we've got PCE coming out. Markets are focused chiefly on this week on PCE inflation data. Man, if it goes down, that's a bullish thing for us. We do want the interest rate pivot. That will be a big macro thing for markets, particularly crypto, I believe. The reading is that the Fed's preferred inflation gauge and is likely to tie into the central bank stance on interest rate cuts. PCE reading expected to show inflation cooled slightly in May. This would be great, but remained well above the Fed's 2% annual target. Expectations of an eventual lower interest rate had driven Wall Street indexes to record highs through June, even as the Fed signaled that sticky inflation and a strong economy kept chances of such a scenario slim. September, November. I kind of feel like it's going to fall in November, but September is still the earliest there. We might get an interest rate pivot bullish for markets and towards it, maybe a Christmas rally, right? We want that. All of us want that. That's kind of the play. All right. That's pretty much it for the economic news and stock market. Obviously, the big news overnight is Bitcoin is down 4.47% at the moment, 60,407. It did go below 60, though. We're going to get to that in the charts. We're currently, Bitcoin dominance has dropped from about 53% down just under 52%. So that's pretty important there with that big percentage move. Ethereum has managed to hold up relatively. It is down only 1.87%, down to $3,360 at the moment. But you can see there's kind of a mixed bag across the board. We do have some green charts like Tron. Solana's up 2.83%. So it's not all doom and gloom there. And we've got even the meme coins, Dodge and Shiba down, but Pippy is slightly green. So there is a bit of a move there. BNB, of course, ADA have followed ETH and the Bitcoin down slightly. ADA's down only 0.5%. BNB down 1.6% there. And of course, BNB plays into the BNB Mafia, right? So we're always thinking about that now. But that's kind of it at the moment. Big move, though, 4.47% in Bitcoin and breaking that 60, but bounced back over 60. So that's kind of cool, too, which leads us into the main charts here for Bitcoin on Coinbase. Let's see. I thought we might have something from Archie here. Archie's got the 200-day EMA there. And Mt. Gox. We're going to talk about Mt. Gox in a second. So here it is at the moment. We've got the 50-day moving average in yellow. We were fighting around that, above it, and then fighting it. That was kind of a bit of a, we were really bullish above the 50. We were fighting around it. Looked pretty good. Now, as you guys know, normally 2 or 3 months after the Bitcoin halving and the previous 2 halvings, we've seen that sort of volatility, and we have been picking off. We get up to 65 days now, 66 days. Now, 2 or 3 months, right? So we've still got that 3-month window. And I'd always been quite happily surprised to the upside that we've been doing so well in the zone, as if you remember my tone in previous videos. And of course, to get this pullback now on some big news. And here we are. We actually got down on the candle. This candle's just closed, right? So we've got a brand new candle just started for the last 12 minutes. So this candle's just finished, this daily candle. And the low went to 58,414 on Coinbase for Bitcoin. So you can sort of see it popped up there just above the blue line, which is a 200 moving average there. This is an SMA average, but it's sitting currently at, what's that sitting at? About 58,000. So I've got the yellow line here. It's kind of got a bounce line, like a support line at 57,000. So this is just below the 200-day moving average. We have bounced above that. We haven't even quite hit that at all. We got down, like I say, 58,400. So we'll have to see where we go here. But we have got some news around Mt. Gox. Not so great, right? It's the supply side news, basically selling. So this is sort of news we've got here. Defunct Bitcoin exchange Mt. Gox said Monday it will start to distribute assets stolen from clients in the 2014 hack in the first week of July. So this is the news the market's absorbing. It was always a grey swan event because everyone's always know it's out there, but when they actually start to pay, that's a big deal. Years after continuing moving deadlines, the Rehabilitation Trust has been preparing to make repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash under rehabilitation plan. Trustee Nobuki Kobayashi said in a Monday statement posted on the Mt. Gox website. The repayments will be made from the beginning of July. So this is kind of a bit of spook the market there. Kobayashi said, adding that due diligence and certain safety steps will be required before payments go through. So it's going to be very staggered, maybe possibly. So, and then you just don't know what people are going to do. So they're going to get it sort of staggered, but you just don't know what people are going to do. Obviously, there's going to be some selling pressure because people have made massive gains since 2014, right? The price has just gone through the roof. So that's why the market's booked there. The repayments are largely considered to be adding sell pressure to Bitcoin markets as early investors will receive assets as much higher value than their entries before 2013. It's going to be, you're talking about making millionaires, right? So it's billionaires potentially, I don't know, but it's going to be absolutely massive, making them inclined to sell at least part of their holding. And this is the thing, right? So they may not sell all of it, but they'll sell part of it because they're so rich now, right? From this, and of course, it's like who's going to sell first, kind of thing. Now, obviously, we also have a lot of people with a view that Bitcoin's going to be going through a big rally over the bull market ahead of us, and of course, typically after Bitcoin halving. But of course, this supply event can, make a bit of a dent into that, give more volatility than we expect. And now we'll have to see what the market actually does, but that's kind of the psychology at the moment. Mt. Gox was once the world's top crypto exchange, handling over 70% of all Bitcoin transactions. In its early years, in early 2014, hackers attacked the exchange, resulting in a loss of an estimated 740,000 Bitcoin, 15 billion at current prices. So that's the sort of amount of money that we're talking about that's potentially available to sell in. Now, obviously, we're only expecting a percentage of that, but man, it could be. We'll find out what it's going to be. The hack was the biggest of the many attacks in the exchange in the years 2010 to 2013. Trustees have put together a repayment plan that has been in the works for several years and received a deadline of October 2024. So that's not too far away. Now, you guys remember that typically October is the bull month for Bitcoin historically. So there's only been 2 red months. It typically is a very bullish one, and particularly on a Bitcoin halving year. So yeah, that's kind of it. In May, the exchange moved over 140,000 Bitcoin, worth around 9 billion from cold wallets to unknown address in 13 transactions for the first time, marking the first on-chain wallet movements for the first time in 5 years. Bitcoin prices, of course, have dropped on that news. So that's kind of the news there that's on Coindesk.com. So yeah, that is where we are at the moment, holding up at this stage. So are we going to get driven down this week in the old Bitcoin? At the moment, we've got that kind of $57,000 support line to 58,000 there. So let's see if we can hold that this week. It's probably going to still stay volatile for the next day or two until we see some sort of relaxing, and then we're going to see if they do get paid, how much gets sold down. So next week could be a bit of a challenge. Let's go to the monthly here on the old Bitcoin. So the monthly here, and you can let me undo that move. The monthly here, you can see that we have some natural support lines on the horizontal, which is 57,000. You can see all the way back here, December 2021, the last bull market. So we have some natural horizontal support. We also have this from 2 months ago, which is also around 57,000 as well. So that's kind of the first natural support zones. That's why we've got that in there at the moment. So yeah, we'll see where we head from there. Otherwise, we know 50,000 is probably the mark line here. We'd certainly want to hold over that, right? If we're going to have this big bull market, definitely want to hold over that. And then, of course, otherwise you're coming down 47, you start heading below there, right? So definitely 50 would be a mark we really want to hold on to psychologically as well. Let's get back to the daily. Yeah, fingers crossed we can hold on to that 57. Otherwise, this 50 mark here is down where we're, that's the sort of the next, where's that line there? Pushed it up there. 50K there. So we also had some support in this zone, right? When we broke 50K, came back down. So that's kind of the next test there. So I'd have 57 based on these moving averages and horizontal support. And then, of course, 50K down here. So we'll see what the supply impact will have. So that's kind of some of the news there. Let's move in forward, though, from Mt. Gox and the Bitcoin market. Now, meanwhile, we've got the runes on the Bitcoin, right? So the first time we're going to have altcoin season on Bitcoin, right? So it's a big deal. And, of course, we're backing it on this channel. We already seen, how Solana and Base and other chains have been doing pretty well, particularly with meme coins. It seems to have, the most valuable ones to be on Bitcoin. Just makes sense, right? So anyway, the runes are down, obviously, because Bitcoin are down. So here we are, Magic Eden, the #1 DEX. Obviously, there are others like Unisat and others. But, of course, more exchanges are starting to list some of these coins, particularly DOG, which is the one we're backing for the win in this bull market to make some mad gains. So possibly, take over Dogecoin and possibly even be in the top of the bull market, even reach maybe 100 billion market cap. That'd be insane for the first meme coin. So those are some of the big milestones or visions ahead for that. You can see we've got a bit of a mixed bag in the top 10 that quite a few are down, but we do have some bullish stuff in the top 10, $1 billion cat up 12%. Lobo the Wool Pup, which is one that I've supported, I really like, is up 17. Number 8. So we have got a bit of a mixed bag on runes, but Dog is up. Dog is up after having the retrace. Dog is up 9%. So Dog, go to the moon. We are backing that, and you can see the little picture of the doggy just below me, little dog, and looking pretty good. What's that? Brennan says it's an honor being called Archie. Is that what I said? I don't know, but congratulations, you are now the Don of the family. We got, let's jump over. So that is the runes. But we had big news overnight for Dog. We've had big news overnight for Dog, which is standing on the moon. You can see him there. Should I take that away? You can see Doggy. Look at it. Isn't he cute? Dog to the moon there, and looking pretty good. Anyway, let's stay on track here. So that's going pretty well there, and we've got a big mixed bag. You know, Bitcoin's down a lot, right? So the runes should be down, right? That's kind of the leverage play, right? Runes are meme coins, altcoins are leverage play. And we can see that here on Gate.io, on the hourly chart, we can see a big pump in here. Look at that big pump. Woohoo! So we got all the way down. What do we get down here? To about 48 hundredths of a penny. We're all have a big pump all the way up to 57 hundredths of a penny. We're just down from there at the moment here on Gate.io, which was for the kind of the first main exchange to launch Dog. I think it's got something like 15, 18 exchanges now. Like they're small, medium, but we're getting the big ones, right? The tier ones. That's what's up. Everyone's after. And of course, the news came out today that MEXC. So we've had KuCoin futures, and of course they did a big space today with Dog founder Leonidas, but we also got MEXC here, just gone trading live now. So pretty cool. The Dog and USD trading will go live once liquidity meets requirements. So that's pretty cool, and that has gone live. They've had 78,000 views on that one alone, and of course, excuse me. Of course, we've had a lot of the Dog crew has come in there. Look at that. A very vibrant Dog crew there, and it just makes a lot of sense. So that's done pretty well. You can now see that on MEXC that the Dog is trading. So you can see that the Dog is trading there. Starts off with a nice little chart there. It's showing even slightly higher prices too, 5,700 for a penny. So what do we see here? Well, we've got decentralized exchanges like Magic Eden, where runes are trading for the first season, and now we've got the centralized exchanges like Gate.io, KuCoin futures, MEXC now, tier 1 exchanges. I think MEXC, depending on how you measure, it's like number 4. Yeah, it is doing pretty well. Now, this is not a spot listing; it's a futures perpetual listing. But you know, spot listings will probably likely come very soon, in my guess. A lot of the exchanges also have to build into their systems the runes protocol, so it's not just an easy thing of just turning the token on. They have to do that, and sometimes because the Dog is not paying any listing fees, then it is it takes a little bit of time for them to get on too. So, but it's starting to fall. The dominoes are falling, and of course more big tier ones are expected to launch. So like Kraken, Crypto.com, Robinhood, obviously the big ones, Coinbase and Binance. These are the triggers that will trigger this and add a massive liquidity, right? So you can have decentralized liquidity in Magic Eden and Unisat and decentralized dexes for that. And this is the first season, right? The first season. It's so lucky. I mean, you wish you could come back on the old Ethereum seasons, right? For EVM chains, for the altcoin seasons, for meme coins. Well, you get the chance here on Bitcoin, and of course the most valuable chain. So I don't know, it just all makes sense, doesn't it? And of course the richest guys on the planet in crypto, just all makes sense. So yeah, I think it's going to be very, very exciting to see that on the runes. Now we've talked more about this in the strategy club, so you can join using the Discord link in the video description. That's $35 a month to join up today for that. Yeah, and that is playing out at the moment. We picked runes last year, right? We were the only influencer channel on the Pulsechain Hex community talking about runes and BRC20s. Well, we were talking about runes, but we're talking about BRC20s and ORC20s last year. And of course, many of you would have got, if you'd been minting ordinals, would have got a runestone and dropped Dog as a free token, which has made pretty amazing money now. Market currently $152 million, so not too bad there. Now, obviously, on the collections, there's NFT collections as well. On the old Bitcoin 2, these are through the old ordinal standard there, the BRC20s, etc. But you can see Runestone sitting at number 3 there at the moment on this top list of NFTs here on Bitcoin. So everything looking pretty good, and I'm hyper bullish about where this is going to go. We're talking 100x on the game here. These sort of numbers are really looking really good here. So yeah, looking pretty good. I'm going to leave leave that in the chat if you guys want to check it out. But once again, you can join Strategy Club as well. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to post that in the chat there. You will need a specialized Web3 wallet. So you will need to get, don't forget to get that. You could get a Magic Eden one, an Xverse, or a Unisat wallet. There are many others, but those are the main ones you always know when you want to connect to the site. All right. Let's see. Remember also Bitcoin has 5 different format wallets, so just remember that too. So hopefully you guys are familiar with Bitcoin to some degree. You remember they have 10-minute plus Bitcoin block times, a little bit slow there on the decentralized. If you go centralized, of course, you won't have those issues. You're just trading on the centralized exchange. Just a worthy take note there. So that's some of the hot stuff there. Big news. MEXC coming on. And of course, Bitcoin is down dramatically, but DOG is up. So wow. Isn't that great? Looking good there, as you can see. That leads us on into Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment is, we've just closed that day. We got down to as low as 3,233 on the day. We're currently at 3,348. 50-day moving average is at 3,491. So we're broke down through that moment. But we're actually really relatively, compared to Bitcoin, well above the 200 moving average, which is at $3,063 at the moment. So that's looking pretty good. And what's the big move coming up? Well, you guys know we got the Ethereum ETFs are expected to launch. We had the initial approvals back on the 23rd of May, but we've got expected to launch Ethereum ETFs on the 2nd of July. So Ethereum looking really bullish. At the moment, we've had super low GUI on Ethereum, but I think that once we get the rally on Ethereum, it's all going to go good. You can kiss that all goodbye. Even with the Pro-Dank sharding upgrades, all that sort of stuff, it's going to be pretty bullish on the financial front of Ethereum. And so, yeah, we are holding up there pretty nicely at the moment, and we're only a few days away from that, right? So that's coming up, 7 days, 1 week away now to expected launch of those Ethereum ETFs. Now, we've had some news around that. I promised you guys that I was going to double check on that analysis, and that analysis is unchanged. So here is Eric Balkahunas, one of the top 2 Bloomberg analysts on ETFs around the world, pretty much. Next step. This is based on the 22nd of June, which is only 3 days ago, or 3 days ago, maybe 2 days ago, US time. Next step, we will see a bunch of amended S1 files today. These are the forms that was holding things up for the trading ETF. Probably later this afternoon. Then balls in the SEC court to let issuers know about any final changes and effectiveness, aka final approval. Woo-hoo! Hot dog at a dog. So that's pretty cool. This means that we're going to have, even though we got on the Bitcoin side, we got a supply shock with the Mt. Gox. On the Ethereum side, we've got a demand shock to the upside. So there we go. And this is final proof. This allows more money to come through ETFs here into Ethereum. So it's pretty cool. We hold the line with our July 2nd as our over-under for Ethereum ETF launch date. So there we are. That is the confirmation of that date, and that's why we've still got that in place here based on that. So there we go. That is it. And of course, we did have more stuff coming from them. So later that day, some of the ETF F1 forms did get filed, which is pretty cool. So that is Ethereum at the moment. So Bitcoin not so bullish at the moment for the week ahead, but Ethereum looking good. Maybe not this week, but definitely the week ahead. And the market likes to front run that a bit. So if Bitcoin decides to hold that 57 mark, despite the potential sell pressure, and Ethereum holds up there as well for the next week, it could be very bullish run on the particularly second half of this week ahead. So looking good there. And that is Pulsechain. That's going to get us to Pulsechain day 409 results for that. Brendan says DOG is a BTC miner. Yeah, DOG is basically a leverage play on Bitcoin, and it is basically minting a Bitcoin Satoshis. How about that? That's not bad as well. All right, let us move on. We're going to get into Pulsechain. Day 409 results. We've just started day 410, so we're just reading the end of the day numbers. We've got Pulsechain at the moment, quadruple 0435, down 1.27%. So in the title of the video, I've got Pulsechain market is chill. Well, it definitely is chill. And we've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0205. That is only down 0.14%. It's pretty much flat. So that's pretty cool too. The amount of supply, 903.4 billion Pulsex, has been bought up and burned. That's 4.46%. So we're close to 4.5% of Pulsex is now gone forever. So that's just slowly sitting in the background there. That's out of the public supply, of course. Incentive token at the moment is down 0.75%, $2.34, and the ratio holding up super strong. I don't know, this seems like a bullish indicator. 53,822. We're going to look at that in the charts as well. And the total supply now is just under 35 million, 34,924. So relatively scarce in number is the incentive token. Now, Hex, of course, has been the one to pick up. It's kind of been on discount. It is down 1.6%. And I'm talking about discount here at 5200th of a penny. EHEX at the moment, 1400th of a penny. EHEX has actually jumped a little bit today. And of course, that's kept the combined price up at 6600th of a penny. Lucky it's not 666, but just 66. That's what we got there. So that's day 409. Let's jump over to the charts and have a quick look at that. This is the weekly on Pulsechain. So we've got the price there at 4,348 at the moment. Pretty stable though, right? Pretty chill. Look at that weekly candle so far. Pretty chill. And that's what I think is pretty neat about that. Bitcoin's down, but we're pretty chill there. And of course, we have had a big downtrend, right? So the market is maybe exhausted there and really not willing to sell much lower for the time being. If we can hold that sort of level, that'd be pretty cool. Now, we are just below the December, so we did break down from there. And of course, our next horizontal support is at 4,046. So we're above that. And so far, we're holding that, about 300 points there above that. So that's kind of looking good. The RSI still got room to move to go down to that level though, and we're at 32 at the moment on the RSI. So fingers crossed that we hold that. Otherwise, 40,000 and 46 is kind of the next level there. After that, of course, would be 3,700. We certainly don't want to go down there, but at the moment, we've still got a higher low slightly than what we had back in August last year. So fingers crossed, and of course, we get a nice pivot on that. Now, that said, of course, Pulsex is looking even relatively better, right? Look at this chart. You can clearly see on a weekly basis, this is clearly better than Pulsechain coin at the moment on just the chart. So we've got the weekly here. We've got a much clearer, higher low here compared to where we were back in September. So that's pretty cool. We've obviously got the burning mechanism ticking away as well. And the RSI is not as oversold, 37 there, as opposed to 30. Would we have 32, 34 or something on their pulse? And so this is holding up pretty well. In fact, the last 5 weeks pretty good as well. What else are we going to say about this? Yeah, the next support line would be 17 to 1800. So in here, we've managed to hold above that at the moment over 2000. So pretty chill. There's Pulsechain, and of course a good accumulation zone, good dollar cost average zone to pick up. And of course, we've been in this zone for 5 weeks now, more or less. So that's not too bad. Looking at the daily, if we get a bullish cross here as well, this yellow line crossing the blue line, that would be very cool. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Definitely very narrow, but not quite there yet. We need maybe another green day or two. That would be pretty bullish there. Now that I've switched over to the daily chart, and we've got plenty of room in the chart there for that. So Pulsechain not looking too bad. I know that we're at the bottom of the downtrend. That's hopefully where we're going to find it. And then it's up and smelling roses at some stage. Maybe not this week, but maybe the week ahead after that. Maybe the Ethereum move next week, we could get that big move up. Once we also see Bitcoin sort of settle with, what are people going to do there? That might take a little while to resolve on the Bitcoin. But typically, we normally have 2 to 3 months volatility. And if we can see that maybe the market's not going to sell down so much on the Mt. Gox, then we can get our normal Bitcoin move higher. Or maybe it's going to be slightly delayed a month because of that special event. All right, so let's see. We got Pulsex Farms at the moment. I told you guys I was going to look at Pulsex Farms, and we can see the yields are still really good, right, on V1 Pulsex. And look at that Pulsex Pulse there, 14.3%. All the Bridgeton stables at the moment, man, look at these yields, 70%, 70%, 43, 71. These have been really good, right, because we haven't had that big rally that you haven't got diluted from your Pulse, right? So the yields have been very attractive, and now people have obviously been enjoying those. The Hex Pulse there at 29%, and the incentive Pulsex at 39 and 35%. So still really great yields in the old Pulsex farm. So I just wanted to highlight that. Good little passive income earner there. So that is looking good there on that. Now let's go to the incentive token. Look at this thing. This is also, so we look at Pulsex relative to Pulse looking very good. But look at this Pulsex, the incentive token here. sitting in a strong range here. Wow, look at that. That's weekly candles, by the way. This is weekly candles. That thing is looking like a boss. You can imagine if we do get that Pulsechain pivot, maybe next week something. Man, well, look at that. Up. And be excited where that might go, especially if we break 71,000 ratio. That is, who knows where the market will price that after that. Could get some pretty big green candles. $2 could become $10 or $20. It is will happen pretty fast. All right, so that's incentive token. Hex, of course, has been the one on discount, as the discount to the discount, and 5200th of a penny at the moment. Let's see if we can see where we find the bottom here. Whoever picks off the bottom on Hex, I'm sure is going to be very happy. Like a Grishire cat or whatever, grinning, and of course the RSI there down at 36 on the weekly there at the moment. So pretty good opportunity. That's the daily chart as well. We are down near the bottom on the daily 32. So maybe we'll get a good bounce from here, and people that pick it off, if this is the bottom, and it definitely is a good candidate, that they'll be pretty happy with the upside there once we get Pulsechain moving as well at some stage, maybe next week possibly. EHEX, of course, has had a bit of a green bounce. So we're down at 1,280. We're at 1,360 of a penny. So 1,300th of a penny is where we're sitting at the moment. So a little green day there, counter move on the old Ethereum chain. Not too bad. All right, so that is it for those. Let's have a quick look at the gas prices on Pulsechain for day 409. 329,000 beats, so a little bit higher than what we've seen some days. Let's go to the validators. 48,694 validators, 1.56 trillion off the market. It's been like that for about 5 weeks or something. And of course, that means that you can become a validator very cheap at the moment on Pulsechain. 32 million pulse for passive income, just waiting for the pivot in the chart. The bridge, of course, is our health check. We're even lower than we were yesterday. I think we're at just over 99. I think we're at 99.5 million yesterday. We're at 98.9 at the moment. Obviously, reflecting ETH down a bit there. EHEX, of course, is up a little bit. So that's kind of cool. And I think DAI is looking pretty similar to yesterday as well. So that's kind of the mix there. Maybe ETH just dragging us down a little bit there on that. So that is that. And now we've just started day 410 on Pulsechain. That's kind of the play. But we're going to get into the rest of the altcoin markets as well before we get into Mafia token, which is actually being a real green shoot on the old Pulsechain. So looking at the derivatives of Hex, Hedron is the only one shining here at the moment on Ethereum. That is up 4% at the moment. Moving to stable coins. The only stable coin that's slightly up is the stable coin, which is funny. Just under $1 is HexDC up there, 0.25%. Some of the other stable coins down, particularly PDAI. PDAI is down at 3,300th of a penny. That's down 9.5%. And the other one that we've been tracking is LUSD. That's down 6.7% at the moment on the old LUSD narrative. Let's have a quick look at that. This has got the minting apparently has been capped and there's burning going on. And you can see we're kind of moving sideways. So keep a lookout for this one. Speculative, but even pick up $150 on this. If it does do anything like try to head towards 1 cent or 10 cents, then there's a lot of money to be made in this. So it's definitely a speculative play. Let's go to the have a look at how much the burning is going so far, because they had just got over 4%. So we're going to have a look and see whether that is at the moment. We're going to go to holders here, and they're at 4.1%. So this is burning, folks. It is burning supply. So we were at, 4.02, I think, last time. We're now at 4.1%. So it is burning. Now, they were talking about burning 10 trillion out of 16 trillion within 5 months. It's certainly going up. So obviously, volumes are going to be important on there too. If we do get a pickup, of course, on Pulsechain, and that might start to accelerate. So yeah, we'll keep a lookout on that. Certainly speculative, but $150, pick up 1 billion tokens. That might do something, right? Might do something. There we are. That's how you play the speculative game. You have a little portion of your portfolio in these sort of wild cards, as we say, and that's kind of the way you might play that. All right, so that is PLUSD. Let's go to the influencer coins. Everything is down except for BNV1, which is the copy, right? That is pretty flat at the moment. Everything else is down. The worst performer today is SolidX. That's Randy Alaski's whale friend. That's down 30%. Axis Alive is next, and then no token for Randy Lasky there. They're down a few percentage points. So, but they've been pretty good on an up market. So once again, if you want to pick off some of these good quality stuff, quality influencer coins, while the market's down, then that's kind of the play to do it. And of course, on the upside, they're the opposite, right? They do particularly well. So, food for thought there. All right, let's jump over to the Pulsechain overall numbers, and we're going to get to Mafia next. So the total volume on Pulsechain is a weekday, right? So Monday is 10.4 million. So it is on the low side. We'd definitely like to get these back to over 25 million on a weekday. That'd be pretty cool. But obviously, we're trying to find that bottom at the moment. Everything, I've just got it here on trending for 6 hours. Let's go to 24 hours on trending. And we're going to look for the top one there. We've got a few new tokens here. Mango, from the looks of it, looks new. We've got Peppy there as well. Cookies and a couple of little Mimi coins. And Goku as well. Seem to be the only ones that are green there on the trending 24 hour. If we look at top, let's go to the top though. And we got 24 hours. We can see that we got Mintra. Hey, Mintra, good to see you back. Good to see you back, your old friend. Mintra, of course, they're from Gerardo, an influencer, of course, NFT, one of our 7 NFT markets. So yeah, that is up 64%. So good to see that. Let's have a look at the chart. We haven't looked at that one for ages. I'd obviously consider this a utility NFT utility coin there. That's on the daily there. So you can see it had been pretty down, but it's had an all nice little green day. So cool on that one. What else have we got going there? Mole Man of Light here is up at 90%. And I'm not even sure. I haven't even checked that one before. We got Mafia though. So when we're talking about Mafia, Mafia is up 13.4% on the top coins trending. So kind of cool. Then we've got Up Token there. That is up as well. That's that's the leverage one, I think, of Liquid Lines. I think that one, Up Token. Maybe it's a different one, but that is up 7%. Hex, of course, making a big move as well, up 4.7 as well. So those are our top coins there as well. By volume. So not too bad there. Now we've got the 24-hour transactions at only 63,000. Is that real? Is that real? What's happened? Maybe because Bitcoin's gone down, everyone's like closed their computers. But there we are, 63,000 on that. But I think that's because I've got the play there. Yeah, that's because I only had it on top. So that just segments it out. But on trending, we got 192,000 transactions at the moment. All right, so that's pretty much it for that. But we're going to jump into Mafia because it is a shining beacon on Pulsechain right now and on BNB. Yes, BNB. I'm going to talk to you about that. Let's see who else has jumped in here. No more comments. No more comments there. Cool. Let's move on and get into it. So 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. So we've got a bit of fighting going on in the Mafia game, and I do love it. Do you know that that didn't even have sound effects? I had the sound effects. It was kind of funny, but there we are. It's pretty badass. That's how badass. That's what the syndicate is going to do to a lot of other families that don't bow down, don't pay their contributions. But anyway, we got the syndicate at the moment at number 1 on Pulse Mafia. Remember. Mafia is on BNB chain and Pulse Mafia. We're covering both chains for this game. This game is created by Jacob. Everyone knows who Jacob is on Pulse chain. Creative, pretty much leading the GameFi space on Pulse chain, and yeah, doing some pretty awesome stuff there. So we got the syndicate number 1 still holding up strong there. The worth just under 160,000. And of course, the gearheads there from Crypto Kool-Aid. We have a huge amount of influencers now setting up their own families. It really is amazing. So we've got Crypto Kool-Aid there. Obviously, a game guru in the industry there, been doing gaming for decades. And of course, he's leading up that with Giftedware himself and their own ecosystem on there. And they're at number 2, 122,000 sitting behind them. And then, of course, number 3 is the Yakuza from Japan, the mysterious Yakuza based out in New York, of course. And then number 4 is the Salamancas there. They are pretty cool. The Whale and Nunzio leading the pack there on that one, sitting at 79. They got bypassed by the Yakuza 2 days ago. So there we go. And they tried to make a fight back yesterday. And, of course, they are still sitting at number 4 there. And then, of course, the OGs, the number 1 family at the moment on BNB, is sitting at number 5 here on Pulse Mafia, and that is where they are. Those are the top 5, and of course we've got the next 3 conditional payouts. So these top 5 always get payouts: 30% for the first one, and 10% for the 5th family. And of course they share the 10% of the vault every week when the game does go live. We're in pre-live phase at the moment. There are 9 phases before the game goes live. We're in phase number 4 at the moment. We're expecting phase 5 this week. maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. So that's coming up pretty soon. Now, the vault at the moment is awesome. 1.32 billion. I repeat, 1.32 billion Pulse is now in the Pulse Mafia. This is after 11 days, I think it is. That's insane. In fact, let's do the chart here because we've got the chart of Pulse Mafia. Look at this thing. Woo! Hot dog and a dog. I mean, it's not a dog, but it's a mafia. It's looking pretty badass. So that's the chart there, folks. Isn't that looking great? That's up 40% while, Bitcoin's down. Markets are generally down or mixed. And, of course, Pulsechain, they're just chilling out. But Mafia on Pulsechain is looking hot. So at 1,100 to a penny at the moment, looking very, very good. Let's have a look at the hourly chart overnight. You can see we had some nice pumps in here overnight. Look at that. So pretty cool. In fact, this pump here happened just after I tuned in. So there we go. It was probably down here, and that's all happened since that time. So that was where the price was when I last saw it, and it got pump. So where will this go? I think very high. That's kind of where I think it will go. Remember, there's a 5% buy tax and a 4.6% buy tax and 4.7% buy tax and a 16.6% sell tax on the old Mafia. But look at that, 1.32 billion. The value of this is now 57,560. That's at the price of Pulse where it is at the moment. So we get a reversal on Pulse coin. This is doubling. That puts us immediately up at 115,000 US dollars in the prize pool. And this is only after like 11 days or whatever it is. So insane things happening with Mafia. Let's have a look how many days. Let's double check there. 11 days. 11 days. How about that? 11 days. And we've already got that amount of money in there. It's crazy. Now, we've got the families, of course. I talked about that. And the third, these are conditional payouts. So they get 5% conditional payout. We don't know how that works yet. But we've got the Mugnows at number 6, the Grand Clan at number 7. Now, this is a new influencer. So Hansi Crypto, he's a new influencer coming in with his own family. He seems to have ramped up. He had a big show, I think, overnight as well. There's a big show with Crypto Kool-Aid. And he's got his players up to 24 and put himself at number 7. So brand new influencer. Now, there's a lot of influencers running. This is bullish for Mafia game and bullish for Pulsechain and potentially going viral this game as well. We've got Grand Clan there. They're at number 7. Hustlers is also another influencers team. This is My Life is Awesome, if I remember rightly. And, of course, he's sitting at number 8. So Lick Gaines there looking good at number 8. He's increased his players to number 18 as well. Looking pretty good there as well. We've got Costa Nostra at number 9. These guys aren't in the conditional payouts. All these ones in red do not qualify for the vault payout, so they've got to fight for it. That's kind of the part of the drama. We've got Costa Nostra at number 9. We got number 10, the Trump family. This is Brizzology, or you know him, another influencer out there, often on Maddie Allen's show as well. He's a great artist, does lots of arts and crafts and things like that. So he is there at number 10. We got La Mano Nera. That was terrible. I really butchered that. It's at number 11, Tito. I don't know who that is. So if you got any intel, let us know because we're paying. Anyway, we got number 12 there, the Internet Money from KG. Obviously, Internet Money Wallet, a major utility on Pulsechain, is sitting at number 12. We got the OG Sopranos and the OG Escobars. That's all part of the OGs. And then we've got the Greys there from Coach X. So one of the big project teams on there who I will be interviewing one of their founders tomorrow on the PDGC Greys. So they're sitting there as well. So looking pretty cool. So we got all the influencers. We've got 1, we got 2, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Let's say 7 of these families are run by influencers or supported by influencers. Let's put it that way. It's probably a better way of putting it. Because a lot of the Dons are not actually like on the syndicate. That's not an influencer. That is Archie, and he's a pretty scary dude. He's the Don of the Dons, as we say, and sitting number 1. Now, we've also got the way to join this, of course, you only need 2,000 Mafia to buy, so you can join up today. And, of course, you can join the syndicate if you like. The syndicate does have 100,000 Mafia fee. Just remember that. That goes for the strength of the family. So just remember that, but that makes the family strong. If you want to buy Mafia on Pulsechain, this is the contract as well. So you can buy Mafia. Mafia on a PLS chain. That is the link for that as well. Way to go. And, of course, you can join up today. Now, the other thing I was going to say is that there is a 5%. There's got to put a 5% buy slippage because there's 5% buy slippers there on them. Now the syndicate, now that all goes into the vault. So all that money is going into the vault. So if you're wondering where it's going into the vaults, which is going to be fought over by the families. The syndicate recruitment center for the #1 Mafia family on Pulse Mafia is there. So we do encourage you to support up there. Get a couple of players, 2,000 each. And of course, you can play by yourself. You can join any family you want, as long as they accept you, of course. And but if you want to join the syndicate #1 family, you will have to also have 100,000 Mafia to contribute to the treasury. The treasury there. All right. But you get a share of the payment. So we have the number in the syndicate. We have the #1 profit sharing. We have 50% of the money goes back to the family, and of course the rest of it is used for paying the hierarchy and also some special things that we have that I can't talk about on live stream. But looking pretty good there. If you join the family, you'll be able to find out. That's pretty much it. All right, so that's looking good there on Mafia there. Have I said everything? I think I have. Well, crates at the moment, you can buy crates, so you can buy in-game assets. Very important to buy these. These are what all the families are fighting over at the moment. Particularly the jackpot is businesses. 11 remaining. There's 11 remaining of those. People are after the slot machines, the roulettes, and the bullet factories. And those are pretty much all the remaining as far as I know. So those are the high-end value. So you're actually coming in at a good time to buy those. $20 to get a crate. You can pay for them with PulseX incentive, or eDie. That's pretty much around $20 for those. So if you want to get crates. And hey, look, everyone's addicted to opening up crates. It is a fun part of the game. And we're not even live yet, right? So this is level 4, stage 4 of the game. We've got 9 stages before the game actually goes live. The trigger for the game going live, of course, is when Pulse hits 5 billion. When it hits 5 billion, the game will get triggered to go live. And of course, on B&B Mafia, we also have that playing as well. Let's jump over to B&B Mafia and have a look at the results over there quickly. So once again, similar tokenomics, nothing really different about that. We've got the leaders at the moment over there. OG is at #1. Remember, that was #5 on Pulse Mafia, but on B&B Mafia, it's at #1 with 79, almost 80,000 in worth. The Syndicate, which is #1 on Pulse Mafia, is #2. That's us. Yeah, boy. We're at #2 on B&B Mafia. The Mugnows, which weren't in the top 5, as at #3 over here on B&B. The Yakuza, which is at #3 on Pulse Mafia, is at #4 on B&B. And the Illuminati, these globalists, are they globalists? I don't know. But Illuminati, they're at #5 and holding strong there at the moment, followed by Costa Nostra, which I think is #6 also on Pulse Mafia. We've got a few other teams over here, of course, with the Peaky Blinders, the Cartels, the Los Salvajes there, the Mafia Group, the Untouchables, the High Table, and the Salvation Army. And I believe Crypto Pride had a YouTube show last night with Cult DeFi. He's another influencer, but on the B&B chain, so on the Untouchables there. So great to see him there as well. So if I'm looking around here, I'm thinking we got 1, 2, 2, maybe 3 influencers over here on the B&B. But apparently there's some big shows coming up with some big B&B influencers, so we're looking forward to that as well. What else we're going to say? Crates. There's more crates over here to be had. The $20 as well, but 76 crates remaining. Only 11 on Pulse Mafia, but 76 of these businesses that are still available. So it's going to take a little while, I think, but that is definitely there as well. You can find the contract details, of course, on Bar Mafia. That's where it is there at the moment. I'll post a link to the chart there if you want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, the syndicate is 50% of the money going to the family. Pretty good. All right. By Mafia on B&B, and I'll post the link to that chart there as well. Now, obviously, to play on B&B Mafia as well, is separate. So if you're joining up to the syndicate, you need to pay 100,000 Mafia on either chain. Now, you can see on the Mafia chart here, we're getting pretty low down here at 0.00386. But we had a big pump yesterday. I was expecting that too. I was waiting for this candle, and there we got it overnight. So there we go. The market got pumped on B&B because it's undervalued in my view. And of course, we've got more B&B influences covering that. That's going to be pretty important. All right, so that is it. All you have to do is swap between chains. Is swap this little drop-down box here. That's it. If you want to read all the rules, you can just go to the game wiki. It will pull you up all the rules that we currently know of. It is a full-on game, right? So remember, there's lots of things to learn. So you got to read all those things through there. You can see all the different details there. But at the moment, we're on the stage number 4. OG crates, these are the launch phases. And then we've got the marketplace coming up. That's going to be big for the tokenomics of the game as well as strategically. Then we've got the Mafia map. That's going to be huge strategically as well. It's going to have headquarters for Mafia fans and stuff like that. It's going to be big time. Then we've got communication, marketing, and vault requirements coming up, level 9. And then, of course, once we hit the vault requirements, which is 5 billion pulse or 500 BNB, the game is ready to go live there, the official launch, which is going to probably be pretty epic. And what does that mean, though? Well, you know, between the 2 vaults, I mean, we've got the vault here on BNB. It's $54,500 at the moment. That's just at the moment, all right? So it's not even hit the target yet of 500 BNB. So we're going to add 55,500 at the moment. We're going to add that to Pulsechain at the current prices of BNB and Pulse, of course. We're going to add the vault value over on Pulsechain, 57,500. 57,500. That is the combined price of both vaults. That's just at the moment with the current price of Pulse and BNB. And of course, not even hit the trigger target yet of 113,000 US dollars. So that's pretty amazing. We've got 6 figures that's been hit about 3 days ago. And of course, where's it going to go? Man, up. It's going to go up. I'm just saying it's going to go up. So we've got the NFT marketplaces launching soon. That's going to be more economic activity as well. So it's pretty bullish there. So yeah, times 10%. So 10% goes to the Mafia families every week. That's $11,300 going to the Mafia families across both games just at the moment. So yeah, and we're still in pre-launch phase. So it's going to be pretty fun. I really like the way Jacob has done these phases. It really allows the protocol to build, the influencers to build, the audience to build, the players to build, the strategies to evolve, all that sort of stuff before the game even goes live. Pretty cool. And of course, all the social media that's been growing, and it's been getting bigger and bigger by the day. So very cool on that front. All right, that's pretty much on that. So we've done coverage there. Yeah, green charts on Pulsechain for Mafia, green charts there on BNB as well. Looking pretty good, which leads us into the Hex Daily Stats. Probably a good place to wrap it up. So let's see how we're getting on here. Day 1666 for Hex. We got the price change there up 25%. It says here. I'm not sure where that came from, but we got the payout at the moment 7.315 X per t-share, and we've got the 11.56 the day before. So Hex on Ethereum doing pretty well, both in terms of the yield and today in terms of price up quite a lot there. Let's see what else is going on there. T-shares are down 5,000. We're sitting at below 9 million T-shares now. Isn't that crazy? 9,991,000. Remember the all-time high was around 11.2 million, so that's amazing. And of course, the ownerships to get a reward. Well, pretty modest penalties today, 724,000, sitting at 65.8 million in the reward pool. Liquid holders up 19, miners down 6, sitting at 170,500 miners on the old ETH chain. Pulsechain, we don't have today's results, always come out a bit lagged, but we do have the previous day, which would have been day 408, and that was a 6.993 Hex per T-share there on Pulsechain. Share rate, a little jump there in the share rate too. Not quite at 35,000 yet, but getting there. Certainly is on Ethereum, right? T-shares down 4,400, sitting at 9,361,000 T-shares. So still, you know, about 370,000 more T-shares or something like that on the Pulsechain there. The rewards penalties pretty low, sitting at 65.5 million penalties. Rewards there in the reward pool. Those goes to those T-share holders. Liquid holders up 43, miners down 6, sitting at 123,685 miners on the old Ethereum chain. So that is on a Pulsechain. Sorry, that is the results for the hex.com. Check it out. You can start mining Hex on Ethereum or Pulsechain today. And of course, the Gwei on Ethereum is super duper cheap. So it's not too bad at the moment. Particularly the end state, right? Particularly end state. All right, that is that. Hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. That's like 59 minutes, which is basically an hour. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be having that special interview with a big Pulsechain team, with the big DAO team, Reflection Tax Ecosystem, and of course that is PDGC and UFO tokens. So I know many people have bought those. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy the interview with that's an AMA with Josh, member of the founding member of the team there. That's coming up tomorrow. Should be pretty cool. All right. On that note, I will leave it. So yeah, not a bit of everything today. Hope you guys enjoyed it and look forward to the interviews coming up tomorrow and the next day. It should be fun there. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. Catch you on the next one. Take care, and of course, bye for now. Let's play out some fun here. Magic Cup Ride, I think. Let's play that Magic Cup Ride on the way out there from Richard Hart. Give some inspiration for sure. All right, peace out, everybody. See you in Discord. Take care. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.